चले जस्ट शेयर के बटन. Very good evening to all the students who are online for the first interaction session on Introduction to Aircraft Design. Some of you might also have been with me in the previous interaction, which took place just 1 hour ago from 4 to 5 p.m. on Introduction to Aerospace Engineering. If you have been there, you will find this very boring because I'm going to repeat the same thing, except for some questions that you have asked. So those students who are here and who have been in the previous session, I would request that after the questions are discussed, you can probably just sign out. So I noticed that several people, Ashutosh Ranjan, Dheeraj Kumar, Aryan Science and Invention, they are all online, apart from other people whose names are not visible because these people have taken part in the chat so far. So welcome and good evening to all. I'm going to share my presentation now. So welcome to the first interaction session on Introduction to Aircraft Design. I want to start by conveying my thanks to the teaching assistant Namanuddin, who has been very diligently and regularly answering the queries on the discussion forum, helping the students with a lot of guidance and information, and also helping me in conducting this course professionally. So thanks, Naman. I noticed other people have joined like Manbir Singh, Vasantro, Dheeraj Kumar. Okay, now already people have started asking questions. For example, Dheeraj has a question regarding supersonic transport aircraft. Wait a minute, we will come to that one by one. There will be a section where we will answer your questions. That is where I will take these questions. So today's agenda is as follows. We are going to talk about the exam registration. Then many of you may not know about this internship program. Then we will look at some questions asked by you in the announcements. I will try to give you some suggestions regarding the use of discussion forum, which is very important. And then we will look for some feedback and suggestions from you and also some complaints if you have. After that, I will move ahead to give you some description about two events which are coming up. The first one is the 7th version of a competition that we have been doing for the last 6 years called NACDeC 7. And then there is another very interesting, challenging competition called DoBaSS-UAV, which is a very short duration competition. It has already started and it will end on 18th of November or 19th of November. And finally, we will open up for queries. In the meantime, Vishwa K, Shubham 7 and Vish, welcome to the chat window. So some information, some update to you about the last date for exam registration. If you look at the original NPTEL website, you would have found that the last date for the exam registration was given as 18th of August. But I have some good news to share that you have been given additional 10 days to register. So now the exam date has been extended to 28th of August, 5 p.m. I think beyond this, no exemptions will be given. So guys, please register for the examination. I want to mention here that merely looking at the videos of the course on NPTEL is of no great use. It's like watching a movie. After you watch the movie, you get a little bit of excitement. And then after that, you forget everything after about a month or so. Similarly, if you do not properly give the assignments and if you do not register for the examination, I'm sorry, you will not learn aircraft design. You will only have a very, very rough idea. And in a way, I would say you are wasting your time. So please consider doing the assignments rigorously. Even if you have missed a few assignments because you joined late, don't worry, because only 8 assignments out of 12 are counted. So you can actually drop 4 assignments. So you still have time. If you give all the remaining 8 assignments carefully and diligently, you will still be able to get very good marks. And do register for the examination. It costs only 1,000 rupees, but you get a very nice certificate which gives a proof, a documentary proof that you have cleared this course and you know what has been taught in the course properly. Welcome to Shardul Situt, who has just now joined on the chat window. Okay. Many of you may not really know or may not appreciate that doing an NPTEL course, clearing the course after getting a certificate by giving the examination, you also have a benefit of getting an internship, which is a paid internship by NPTEL. You can see the internship can vary from 2 weeks to 8 weeks, and there is a stipend which is available to you from the NPTEL side. Okay. So these internships are only open to the students who top in these courses. And the toppers are getting the option to do this internship. Your teaching assistant, Nawanuddin, has also done an internship with me after topping one of the NPTEL courses which I offered. I think he worked for 3 months as an NPTEL intern. And subsequently now, he is pursuing a master's program in IIST after spending 1 year in IIT Bombay as a project research associate on an ISRO-sponsored project. When you do internship under the banner of NPTEL, you get such a beautiful certificate. And the good part is that after certificate is given to you, its details are also verifiable and available at the NPTEL website. So Hasib Khan, welcome to you. Thank you for joining the session. So not only you have a piece of paper confirming your internship, you also have proof of your internship available for all the future on the NPTEL website so that anybody can actually verify that. You don't have to worry about getting it verified. Let's now take some questions from the announcements. There are several questions which have been asked, and I must say some questions are very, very incisive and very deep. So here is one such question. The Sukhoi Design Bureau, in its design of Su-57, claims technical superiority over F-22 and F-35. Hence, has rightly named it as Su-57, which is 22 plus 35. In view of this, once the beyond visual range missiles are exhausted in the air battle, would it not be obvious that maneuverability will play a vital role in dogfight, which is to come in a battle? Well, first of all, I cannot confirm or verify that Su-57 is equal to 22 plus 35. I don't know. It could well be just a simple coincidence, but it could also be true. I don't know. Because in combat, there is always a game of one-upmanship, which is played between the various countries. So it is quite possible that to show that our aircraft Su-57 is superior to both F-22 and 35, they made it 57. I don't know. I can't confirm it. Coming to the basic question, once the BVR missiles are exhausted in the air battle, the answer is that BVR range missiles are the ones which are designed to ensure that there is no need for a dogfight. Earlier, aircraft were designed to have a dogfight, and the maneuverability was a huge criteria. But nowadays, with the presence of BVR missiles, you can fire a missile 80, 90, 100 kilometers away from the enemy pointing in the other direction and then run away. So therefore, there is no need for you to have any maneuverability or any dogfight. So yes, if you don't have BVR missiles and still you are engaging in combat, then what will you do? You will, but dogfight is something in which anybody can beat anybody depending on the situation, scenario, which one has superiority. Maneuverability is one important aspect, but pilot flying skills are also equally important. In history of air combat, there have been many scenarios in which the maneuverability of the enemy aircraft was much better, but the skill of the pilots has taken care of the shortcoming of maneuverability and resulted in a hit or a win. So I don't think maneuverability dogfights are going to be useful in the future. The future warfare is going to be fought only with the BVR missiles. Bharat K. Bhatt, thank you for such insightful questions. The next question that he has asked is, Sukhoi 25 Frogfoot and A-10 are in the same category of ground attack aircraft. A-10 has larger engines and bulletproof cockpit, whereas Su-25 has shoot with ground missiles and scoot with high thrust engines. Which of the designs is better according to you? My answer is very simple. Look at which of these two aircraft has survived and it is still operational, and you will get your answer. Because any amount of theory, any amount of features, any amount of claims by aircraft manufacturer is meaningless against the survivability actually demonstrated by an aircraft in real life combat. The A-10 Thunderbolt aircraft has a beautiful record of survivability, and I think it is an aircraft which the US Air Force is trying to replace but unable to replace, so they are going to continue with it for some more time. I am not sure if the same thing is true about Sukhoi 25 Frogfoot aircraft. To the best of my knowledge, Sukhoi 25 Frogfoot is no longer in production and it has probably lived its life. So there goes the answer. The proof of the pudding is in the eating, and therefore proof of the aircraft is in combat. So I would give full marks to A-10 because A-10 is still being used by Air Force. Even after so many years of operation, they are not able to find a replacement. So I would vote for A-10 compared to Sukhoi 25 Frogfoot. But that is only my opinion. Moving on, design for life cycle cost. Boeing 737 MAX is not a good example. This is a statement not made by me, but by one of the students. So he has a very long question. It says that as instructed in this course, cost of an aircraft, especially its life cycle cost, is considered a critical and, as you rightly mentioned, the most important aspect in designing one. I would like to bring it to your notice the failure of B737 MAX aircraft, which happened due to software failure. But the real problem was the managing directors disregarding sufficient training to pilots on the new stall control system. All of it was done to save money of airliners on pilot training and thereby making this new variant more attractive. This can be seen as one of the cases where cost supersedes technical requirements. I completely agree with you. Boeing 737 MAX has shown that when people with management degrees and management orientation work on technical or engineering projects, they sometimes take decisions which may later on prove to be very disastrous. What you say is right, that in the Boeing 737 MAX modification, it was assumed that the software will take care of the pitching tendency of the aircraft because the engine of the aircraft was moved slightly forward, and that was done to ensure that the point at which you load the engine remains the same so that there are minimum changes. But the location of the engine was moved and therefore there was a moment imbalance. It was expected that this moment imbalance will be automatically taken care by the MCAS system. However, it did not happen. The MCAS system had a fundamental flaw that it was drawing data from only one of the two sensors which was there. It should have taken the data from both the sensors, do some reconciliation, and then give the correct values. Okay. So I agree that this is an example where operating cost is superseding technical requirements. And I agree that Boeing has caused a lot of heartburn among airlines. In fact, there were 2 accidents and more than 300 people have died. So yes, what you say is right. And the last sentence, of course, is just a sentence of praise. So thank you, Mohammed Hamid, for this very insightful question. And I've already shared with you my insights on this tragedy. If there are more questions you have, then Mohammed Hamid, you can put them in the discussion forum, and through Naumanuddin, I will be able to address these queries later. Moving on, there is a question on, will you admit your student undergoing the ongoing course Introduction to Aircraft Design to PhD in Aerospace on the basis of say 75% score in this course and a percentile of say 75% in the GATE examination, but who has scored less than 60% degree level in ME? Unfortunately, I cannot. The rules of IIT Bombay are very, very clear that whatever be your GATE score, you could be the GATE topper. Whatever be your score in this course, you could be the NPTEL topper. If you do not have a first-class degree in your undergraduate course, you will not be eligible for master's admission in IIT Bombay. But you can go to IISc Bangalore because they are okay with second-class degree. This requirement is there in most of the IITs. I know that IISc Bangalore is an exception. My own student from IIT Bombay had a problem, and ultimately he ended up going to IISc Bangalore for a master's degree because we were just not able to take. So I'm sorry, the last line is very important for IIT Bombay, but we don't say 60%, we just say first class. Now, the definition of first class in your college could be 60%, 55%, or 70%. So we don't ask for percentage. All we say is the college must certify that the undergraduate degree is in first class. And if the college certifies that the marks obtained 58% is equal to first class, we have no problem in making you eligible. So just ask your college about what exactly is first class. And if you don't have the first class, I'm sorry, you will not be able to get admission, at least in my department. Will you grant him an unpaid internship at IIT Bombay so that he can learn the art of doing research in aerospace, optimizing the wing design? So I cannot promise internship to anybody in an NPTEL session. There is a procedure to apply for internship. You have to send a mail with your CV and you have to explain to us why you want to do internship, what do you want to do. And remember one thing, that when we offer internship, we don't have the option to give you a stipend. And we don't also have the option of giving you any accommodation. Okay. So it can become very expensive because Mumbai is very expensive and the place where we are located in Powai is one of the expensive parts of the city. So getting shared accommodation in Powai, even the food, etc. Many students are able to eat in the hostels of IIT Bombay. If the hostels permit, we have no objection. But the rules of the hostel are not in our control. Suddenly, the hostel might say that we don't permit outside people. Then I cannot help it. So, offer of an unpaid internship at IIT Bombay cannot be given simply because you have learned this course, simply because you have got a good percentage. We need to exchange notes and you will be interviewed by some of my PhD and MTech students or project research staff. If they find that you have what we need, they may be ready to offer you internship. Okay. But there is one particular scheme called as IRCC Research Internship Scheme, where you can get paid by IIT Bombay to do an internship. So please search online for IRCC Research Internship Scheme. In fact, I might be able to actually just show you. I would like to be able to show you that particular website. Okay. So let me do that. I'll just try to open the website. And see if I can open the website for you. I don't know. I'll have to just search because very recently I had shown this website. Okay, let me just see. पहले खोलना पड़ेगा कौन सा खोलूं यहाँ से शेयर करना है ओके ओके so those who are online can please confirm to me that the website is visible. This is the IITB Research Internship Award 2023-24. So you can see that they have already announced this internship. On 1st August, this particular website went live, and the last date for applying is 30th August. Once you go to the link available projects, you can search for the projects which are available. For example, if you select my department, aerospace engineering, you can see there are so many projects available. Okay, I have also given one project, but let us see if you can look at some other project. For example, gas turbine combustion. So you can see that so in this particular project, the intern is expected to carry out numerical modeling of the gas turbine combustion. Okay, they expect that you should be from aerospace, mechanical, chemical engineering. You should have some background in combustion heat transfer. You could be from a second year of MTech program or third, fourth year of a BTech program. Like that, every faculty member who is interested to give internships, they give these projects, and then you can choose. Now notice that interns who are selected will get 15,000 rupees per month as the stipend, but we will not be able to give any on-campus accommodation. You have to arrange your own accommodation. So kindly visit the how to apply page, right? And once you can choose up to 3 projects of your choice in the order of preference. And then your document or your application with the attachments, they get forwarded to us. And yeah, this internship is mainly in the offline mode, not online mode, only in the offline mode, because we expect the colleges to depute the students for minimum 4 months and maximum 6 months from the joining date. So once your application is sent to us, we are going to shortlist, and then we will call some people for interview, and every professor gets only one intern. So we select one person and we have one standby person. In case that person does not join whom we have selected, the backup person gets the choice. And you can join the internship in the last week of December to first week of January for a period of 4 months or maximum 6 months. But there is some criteria, there is some eligibility. So please read this carefully. This is one way. And similarly, almost all institutes in the country, they have similar internship schemes. So we are not the only one. It is there in almost all the institutes like IITs and IISc. Okay. And then the questions have been asked by Duladino Pardasani. So Duladino wants to know which simulation and analysis software do you recommend for the purpose of number 2, optimizing the wing design. Well, it's very difficult to say unless we have the details of the problem. I cannot immediately say that this software is good, that is good. Generally speaking, you may have to do it yourself. you may have to make your own code, or you may have to refer to some existing codes. So I don't know what you mean by optimizing the ring design. Is it aerodynamics? Is it structures? Is it propulsion, integration? Is it from weight point of view? So depending on that only, we can do this. Asia Fatima says that she's a software engineer. Can I apply for this internship? So Asia, you can apply only for those projects in which the eligibility of internship has software engineer as a background. There could be some internship offered by professors which are software oriented, and they may be happy to get a software engineer. So you have to look at the topic, you have to look at the eligibility, and then apply if you are eligible. So I cannot give you a specific answer, Duladino, about which software can be used, because I don't really know the specifics of the problem that you are working. Moving ahead, Shardul Situt has a question. Does mounting of engines in the nacelles results in weight reduction? No. Just by putting the engine in the nacelle, we don't get weight reduction. But by mounting the engine with or without nacelle below the wing or above the wing, that means on the wing, that gives weight reduction. But just putting the engine in nacelle does not by itself give weight reduction. The nacelle basically is a aerodynamic covering over the engine, the ring kind of structure or the duct kind of a structure which is there over the engine. That is a nacelle. So once again, if this nacelle is mounted on the wing, then there can be a improvement. But just by putting nacelle, you don't have weight reduction. In fact, you will have weight addition because you are putting something like a nacelle. Yes, it will improve the aerodynamics and the behavior of the engine. Therefore, you may have a negative effect of that. But by itself, you cannot. Okay. And I've also been told by Nauman that this question is from assignments. So Shardul, it's not fair. You should not ask questions from assignments in the discussion forum, because that is not at all the purpose of this forum. You have to ask questions which are not covered in the assignments and not covered in the course. So Shardul, this is not correct. And if you do it again, we have to take strict action. Asiya says that she's an electronic and communications engineer, and she wishes to start her career in aircraft designing through avionics. Yeah, so you can, Asiya, if you are from electronics and communications background, you could do a master's in avionics. And one of the institutes where you can do master's in avionics is IIST Trivandrum, where Namaruddin is currently an MTech student. You can consult him. He is very helpful and guides a lot. He will guide you on what to do and how to prepare for it. And you can then pursue your master's in IIST or other institutes. And then you can contribute to the field of avionics. So no problem at all. And you can also actually join some company like Collins Aerospace or some other company that deals with avionics. If they give you a job, and if you have a certificate from NPTEL that you have done a course on Introduction to Aerospace Engineering or Introduction to Aircraft Design or any other courses, it will help you. So not by just watching the videos, but by doing the assignments, giving the examination and clearing the course. Then only you get some merit of the NPTEL certificate. Otherwise, it is only like a movie. You just go and watch it and you enjoy it. Okay, friends. So as you all know, there is a discussion forum, and the discussion forum is meant for you to interact with us, primarily with the teaching assistant. But if the teaching assistant wants to take my advice, and he does, many a times he says that there are some questions on discussion forum which he wants to discuss with me, and I give him the resolution. Most of the questions he's able to resolve himself because he's now a very experienced teaching assistant of this course. But even if there is a doubt or any out of the context query, he always consults me. So please join the discussion forum by going to the course page, ask a question, ask your queries, and use it actively because it is meant for you. Discussion forum is not only meant for asking questions regarding assignments or asking questions regarding the examination. No, that is there, but that is not the primary. The primary purpose is to ask your doubts. And you will get a lot of good advice from Nomanuddin. Okay. Then please note that we are very much open to feedback and suggestions from you, which we will be happy to receive at any point of time. And also we are open to receiving complaints from you. You could have complaint regarding the course. You could have complaint regarding the evaluation procedure. You could have a complaint regarding the teaching assistant, saying that he's not regularly answering your queries. If it is true, don't worry. Please bring it to my notice through the discussion forum. So the forum is meant for you. We are looking for feedback. We are looking for suggestions and complaints. Hasib Khan has a question. How do I use the credit given in the certificate? Hasib, under the new education policy, many engineering colleges have decided to give a waiver of credits to students who have cleared NPTEL courses. So you check with your institute. In many institutes, I know that up to 5 courses are allowed. In some, only 2 are allowed, that too only in the final year. So it varies. Ask your institute, what is the policy of the institute for getting your credits exchanged or waived for clearing the NPTEL courses. But you have to have a pass certificate from NPTEL for that course. Just by listening to the videos or attending the course, you will not get a certificate. You have to pass in the assignments individually and pass in the examination individually, and then you can get. Right. So that is what I wanted to tell you. Now, if there is any feedback or suggestion right now, the forum is open. I am in the live session. So you can put in your query or you can ask your question. We will go ahead and we will come back in case there is a requirement. Now I want to talk to you about 2 competitions related to design which are being conducted. The first of them is a very old competition. It is now in the 7th year and it is called as National Aircraft Conceptual Design Competition, NACDeC. So we started this particular competition in the year 2017-18. That was NACDeC 1. And now we have reached, we have completed 6 of them. And now we are launching NACDeC 7 very soon. In between, there is a question from Ashutosh Ranjan saying that he is from BE Aeronautical Engineering. He wants to enroll in NPTEL courses more related to aeronautical engineering. Yes, please do it. You have all the options available to you. There are so many courses being run by various faculty members. I myself am running 3 courses. One is the course on Introduction to Aerospace Engineering. One is this course on Introduction to Aircraft Design. And third course is a course on lighter than air systems. So yes, by all means you can. And as Naman has mentioned, you may enroll. And if you have any issue or any problem, please consult. Please consult Naman for help. So this competition called NACDeC, please refer to the website which is mentioned there, www.nacdec.in. This website is going to give you a sneak peek into that. So let me give you some idea about this competition. So what are the aims of NACDeC? Basically, we want to encourage and nurture aerospace conceptual design activities amongst the college students like you. So it's a competition for you. Okay. We allow you to interact with experts from the industry, the aerospace industry, and the academia or engineering colleges. And we do that through monthly webinars on topics that are suggested by the students. So when you do the NPTEL, when you do the NACDeC problem, you may get stuck in certain area and you can suggest to us that you would need a seminar or a webinar in this particular area. We will try to arrange the webinars through experts. We also have a dedicated WhatsApp group and email account for you to be able to communicate with each other and with us very frequently and very easily. The principal aim of NACDeC is to give students a first-hand feel of how one goes from the concept to design. Okay, so we want you to experience a complete design cycle from conceptualizing a design to evaluating, assessing, comparing, and then finally to carry out the design and sizing. And the bigger aim is to address the complaint of the industry that there are many aerospace or aeronautical engineering students available, but they are not industry ready. Whatever they know, whatever they learn in the college is of perhaps little or no use to the industry, so they have to be retrained. And one of the problems that many people said is that students who know FEM, they know CFD, they may know other analysis procedures, but they don't have any feel for design because they have never done design. So therefore, that is the aim of NACDeC. How is it conducted? We conduct it, it is conducted under the banner of the design division of the Aeronautical Society of India and also the Mumbai branch, of which I'm a member because I'm based in Mumbai. Plus, we also have other participants. For example, last year in NACDeC 6, we saw participation from a Section 8 company in IISc Bangalore called as Art Park. And the main contribution of Art Park was that they increased the prize money by about 10 times and made it very, very financially attractive for the students. So NACDeC is open to teams of engineering college students, but there is a restriction that 2 of the students have to be from aerospace or aeronautical engineering. They could be undergraduate or postgraduate, but out of the 5 members, 3 can be from any department, but 2 have to be from aerospace department because the competition is primarily in the area of aeronautical engineering design. We allow only 1 team per institution, and we allow 1 additional faculty mentor from each institution, but the faculty mentor is mainly for administrative purposes. So we normally conduct the competition in 3 rounds. We have an initial concept report, then we have a midterm design report, then we have a final design report. So in the final design report, we normally shut down the number of people to maximum 5. And then these 5 people are then shortlisted to talk about their design. Okay. So Bharat Bhatt has a question about the details of NACDeC. That's what I'm giving you right now. And as Naman mentioned, there is a website. So Naman, you can mention the website in the chat window so that they can go to the website whenever they have time. The prize money of NACDeC is approximately 45,000 rupees. And we also give e-certificates to all team members who submit the final design report. But this prize money can be increased if some other partners also join. As I mentioned to you, last year we had Art Park, a member of our committee, and therefore the prize money was increased 10 times. It was 4.5 lakh rupees. Right now we are in discussion with some sponsors. As and when sponsors add and more money is available, we will increase the prize money. But as on date, 45,000 rupees is guaranteed as a prize money. So if you look at the previous NACDeCs, the first one in 2017-18 was to do with the multi-role amphibian aircraft operating out of Juhu Airport. Then the second one was a high-altitude unmanned aerial vehicle for aerial mapping along the coastal parts of India. The third one was high-altitude platform for communications coverage over 4 metro cities in India. So this was basically a platform that can travel from, let's say, Mumbai to Chandigarh, to Mumbai to Kolkata, Kolkata to Chennai, Chennai to Delhi, like that. Mumbai, Delhi, Delhi, Kolkata, Kolkata, Chennai, and back to Mumbai, like that in a cyclic fashion, and provide high altitude communications coverage. NACDeC 4 was aiming at intercity electrical VTOL air taxi aircraft or ICE VTOLA. And NACDeC 5 was a water scooping amphibian aircraft for firefighting, which can collect water from sea or from ponds or lakes and then use it to fight industrial or forest fires. NACDeC 6, as I mentioned, was in partnership with Art Park, SAE India, IISA Bangalore, and this was the autonomous air ambulance. So this is an ambulance which does not have a driver or a pilot. It is that way autonomous, and it has got place only for one patient and one stretcher for the paramedic. So this is one problem statement that we gave, and the application of this was to go for a vertical takeoff and landing mission to rescue people who are injured on the highways, or if there is an emergency somewhere far away. The distance was only 120 kilometers, so it's not very far away. It's actually in the vicinity of the city. Okay, so now let us look at sneak peek at NACDeC 6. So for this, I'm going to just stop sharing and I'm going to share my screen directly and show you. Wait a minute. Okay. I need just a minute. Please confirm that you are able to see this video. So far, related to the problems in our atmosphere, but now we are slowly proceeding So we are now proceeding in the outer space. So you can see that the problem is to design UMADS, which stands for Unmanned Aerial Vehicle for Mars Atmospheric Data Study. The aim of this competition is to map the boundary layer over Mars. Normally, surveillance over Mars is done using a lander and a rover. And the rover is normally folded and put inside the lander. But here, we are not using any rover. We would like this UAV to directly communicate with Mars orbiter and keep on moving in the atmosphere of Mars to explore the surface. So right now, the problem statement is not yet finalized, but broadly speaking, we are going to expect a payload of 5 kilograms to be carried within a maximum mass of 70 kilograms or less. The aim of the vehicle is to explore from surface of the Mars to an atmosphere of 100 meters, but not just once. It has to do it multiple number of times during the day, which is called as SOL on Mars. And it is possible to do this not using just battery, but by recharging the craft with solar power. So the problem statement is going to be uploaded very soon on within a week or 10 days from now. You will see it on the website www.nacdec.in. And I have received a message of good evening from Aditi. So Aditi, good evening to you also. I'll try to see if I can open this website and then I can just show it to you, whatever is there in it. Let me just see if it works. One minute. So this is the website of NACDeC. As I mentioned to you, so the नहीं है, I'm on the website. यही है, यही दिखाना. So this is our website, and you can see that there are some testimonials which are available from previous people. Okay, you can see the previous NACDecs. There are 6 NACDecs already done today. All the information about previous NACDecs is generally available on these websites. For example, if I click on NACDeC 4, I should be able to see some information regarding the previous person on NACDeC. That's all right. We don't have to really spend too much time on this website. So I'm going to now share back my presentation. Okay. So much for now. I want to talk to you about one more competition. This competition is available to students of any department. No restriction on aerospace engineering only, because the problem that we are going to address in this competition is to do with mechatronics rather than pure aerospace engineering. So this competition aims at devising a scheme or a mechanism by which you can dock a UAV on a balloon, and after docking, you can change its battery and then release the balloon again to fly. So the website of this competition is mentioned as below: www.deltas.in/DoBaSS-UAV. And there is a poster which is there, is to commemorate 75th year of the Aeronautical Society of India. Prizes are worth about 2 lakh rupees. The competition has just been launched on Independence Day, and we are expecting people to register. The last date is going to be 31st August, but I recommend that you register for it early, because we are planning to do a webinar on 26th of August where we will explain to you the details of this competition. We have a dedicated email address, DoBaSS-UAV@gmail.com, for answering any queries that you may have. I will repeat that this competition is open to all students of engineering colleges, whatever be your branch. There is no restriction on aerospace engineering. From each institute, we will allow maximum 5 teams, and each team can have 5 members. So 25 people from your college can be a part of this competition in 5 individual teams. Kindly look at this website. Norman, you can type the website in the chat window because I don't want to go there and spend time. Just type the website link in the chat window so that students can themselves check it. And now we come to the end of the session. We have around 8 minutes remaining. So the floor is open for any queries that you may have or any comments that you would like to give. In the meantime, I'm just going to open the website of this competition and keep it ready. But kindly keep your questions coming. So there are some questions. By the way, I forgot to mention that there are no registration charges for this competition. Okay. So please look at this website. These are the 3 things that you have to do. You have to just suggest the design modifications. Let me clarify that the competition does not involve any fabrication. It is only design. So we will give you an existing UAV specifications. You have to just suggest how it can be modified to make it vertical takeoff and landing. And then you design a docking system and a battery swapping system. As I mentioned, anybody can register. So there are 3 stages. And this is the timeline. The final round will be conducted on 18th and 19th November. This will be in New Delhi, but if you cannot travel to New Delhi because of some issues, maybe you have examinations or some other commitments, you can also do online. But remember that students who are shortlisted for the final round, the society will pay 3rd AC train fare from the college of your city of your institution to Delhi and back for you to attend the competition. I will now take some questions from the students. There is one question regarding the electro-discharge machining. Yes, the answer is it possible for creating slots for spoilers in the aircraft wings? Yes, we can do that. Hamid Guttu has a question. Net zero versus absolute zero, which is more sustainable as per life cycle cost is considered for airliners? Well, I would say net zero is more important. Absolute zero is almost impossible to obtain. Vishwa wants to know about laminar aerofoils that are used on Honda Jet 420. So I would suggest that you look online for detailed papers on the aerodynamics of Honda Jet. If you wish, I can ask Noman to share those papers. So basically, maintaining laminar flow over an aerofoil is one of the holy grails of aerospace engineers. We have been trying to do things so that we can have laminar flow as much as possible, as long as possible, but it is very difficult to do it. And even if you do it, it will be very difficult to maintain laminar flow because it can be easily tripped. A laminar flow is very unstable. It trips into turbulent flow very quickly. And when it trips, the drag becomes almost 3 times more. Drag coefficient becomes 3 times more. So Hasib Khan has a question regarding you have already completed via NPTEL many courses. Will this be considered in HAL? Well, I'm not very sure, But I'm sure when you face the interview, if you make this statement and if you bring it to their notice, they will definitely give you some weightage. So Vishwa, laminar aerofoils are aerofoils where we try to maintain laminar flow either forcibly or naturally by shaping the aerofoil in such a way that to a large extent, 40, 50, 60%, the flow remains laminar. And this then leads to a reduction in the drag of the wing. Okay, there are a few minutes remaining and we would like to take some other questions that you may have. I would prefer if the questions are related to the course, as we have just seen, questions on laminar flow aerofoil are very much relevant. So yeah, I'm open to questions. And I expect that a lot of you will take part in the DoBaSS competition because in a matter of 3 months from now, you will be standing to earn about 2 lakh rupees total. So I would suggest that you form your teams. I will repeat once again that it is not necessary to have only aerospace engineers in the team or even one person. All of you can be from mechatronics, robotics, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, any branch. As long as you are able to suggest the design approach and the challenges for solving the problem, we are happy to enroll you for the competition. So there will be 3 stages. Bharat Bhatt wants to know why is it difficult to mimic Soviet designs like MiG-25, Su-30, MiG-21 in Indian design bureaus. See, when we are given a design requirement, our design bureaus try to address the design requirements and come up with the suitable aircraft. It could be the LCA or Tejas, or it could be the AMCA, or it could be Ghatak, whatever it is. So there is no point and no benefit in copying or mimicking existing designs because they were designed for a particular requirement. And we may not have the same requirement. We may have different requirements. So there is no point in copying. In fact, I would go ahead and say that the LCA or the Tejas aircraft has got design features that makes it far superior to many of the Russian and European aircraft. Okay, it's a cutting edge aircraft. It's the world's lightest aircraft in that weight category, in that performance category also. So therefore, there's no point in comparing. Vishwa also wants to know, now as an aircraft designer, what is the most important problem I should solve for the upcoming designs? For military aircraft, you have to improve the combat effectiveness. For transport aircraft, you have to improve the safety and operating efficiency, that is operating cost. That's it. Not at the cost of safety. If you increase the operating cost even by a small amount, you will be in business. Right. So that is it. For military aircraft, affordability and mission reliability and ability to give the service to the Air Force is more important. And for the civil aircraft, without compromising safety and cost, if you can bring the operating cost down, it will be a big contribution. Vishwa also wants to know, like, sir, as you said, the design I make now will come into existence maybe in 10 to 15 years. What about the environmental issues? Yes, Vishwa, you have to keep in mind the kind of environmental challenges we are likely to face. So yes, when you design today, you are designing for 15, 20 years from now. And therefore, it is very important for you to ensure that you have in your design enough capability to take care of any future requirements which can come. Of course, you cannot do everything, but you can do only to the extent possible. All right, friends, we have only 15 seconds remaining before we wind up this meeting. So as Namaruddin said, please use discussion forum for your queries. And ultimately, they come to me also. Thank you so much. We will now meet on 18th of September for our next interaction session like this. I hope there you will have more specific questions. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Bye.